Hey y'all, it's Melissa here at Twin Oaks Family Farm in rural Southeast Ohio, USA. Going to try to do some Motivation Monday videos each Monday for a little while and see how that goes. This is May 13th, 2024, and one of the things that we talk about on our YouTube channel here, Twin Oaks Farm Poultry, is supporting local agriculture, and another thing that we talk about that's tandem with that is eating real food. So I want to really turn over a new leaf and focus on actually implementing that in our lifestyle. So our Motivation Monday today is kind of like, how do we start to tackle a bit of a lifestyle change when we want to make really a difference in something that's ingrained in us, like our daily routine habits. We appreciate homegrown food. We appreciate whole foods like vegetables and fruits that aren't processed at all, other than, maybe being harvested as in picked and washed. We appreciate homegrown, farm-raised meats. They're minimally processed. Obviously, they have to be butchered. They have to be cut into the cuts that we want, but that's minimal processing. We're not putting additives in it. We're not having preservatives in it. We don't have things in the ingredient list we can't pronounce. So we really appreciate and value minimally processed foods. And that's our interpretation of what we mean when we say eat real foods. But on the other hand, we also enjoy things that are highly processed. Snack foods, pizza. Sometimes if we're in a hurry, we're willing to go through a drive-through. So I want to take a hard look at that in my own habits and try to turn over a new leaf. So in this Motivation Monday, I'm kind of tackling that. First of all, like, how do we turn over a new leaf? Really, seriously, open to your feedback. Would love to have it in comments. Gonna share with you how I'm approaching doing that, tackling some lifestyle change and focusing on not what I'm telling myself to go without and give up, but focusing on what I am giving myself by doing something that's better for me. So that's one thing. Also, going to actually show you what I'm having as a lunch today. And this is my strides toward eating whole foods, toward eating real food, towards avoiding the highly processed things, which really I try to do anyway, and my family tries to do anyway, but especially here where we are, the United States mass food system and food distribution system, a lot of what we find in stores has a lot of additives in it, a lot of junk in it, a lot of food dyes in it, and we worry about, what are we putting in our bodies? Well, there's only one way to really know. We have to know we raised it or grew it, or we have to know the source where it came from. And beyond that, we are just trusting labels. So with that said, let me start with showing you what I'm having for lunch today. I'm going to try to actually get a look at it. So I'm actually about done with it, but for today, I was focusing on chicken broth. And so in this case, it is store-bought chicken broth. It was an independent grocer, their label, like their house label or store label. So it's just canned chicken broth, but the ingredient label said, just chicken stock and some onion juice, carrot juice, celery juice, and some beta carotene. So I added to it some fresh carrots and some black beans, and I was trying to get a scoop of them in my spoon here. Some black beans and some corn and some onions. I think I've got all the black beans out of there. Oh, there was one. And the seasoning is like an Italian, kind of an Italian seasoning, but it has a variety of seasonings in it. And then I also had fruit with it. So I actually had about a half a cup of fruit, mixed fruit, and the soup. And so to drink, pardon me, I got tongue-tied. What I'm having to drink is just plain sweet tea that does have cane sugar in it, but it doesn't have caramel coloring in it. It doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it. We want to stay away from that. So what I'm trying to do with this eating habits and eat real food, I'm trying to do at least a 21-day lifestyle change with the food and see if I feel better, if I have more energy, if I have less joint pain, less inflammation. So I'll keep you posted on how that goes. But that's what I'm doing today to eat whole foods. I had a similar chicken broth dish earlier in the day, also with fruit at that time, having this one, and then later in the evening, the plan is steamed broccoli and hard-boiled eggs and probably some ground beef, but not on a sandwich, not with any bread, just in like a hamburger patty, and just water and sweet tea with just cane sugar. So that's how I'm tackling the lifestyle change with the food. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I think it's going to be kind of hard for me because my family likes pizza. My husband and I don't go through drive-thrus a lot for fast food, but I will tell you on that note, like I went into the store and got a big bowl of ready-cut fruit. Like, you know, that's a convenience food to me. Somebody else washed it, chopped it, prepared it, and it's a bowl of fruit. And it was about $10. But with that $10 bowl of fruit, if I'd gone through a drive-thru, it would have cost me at least $10 to get a meal full of additives and preservatives just for myself. With that bowl of fruit, actually there's lots of servings in there, so I can share that with my whole family. The chicken broth I bought actually 2 cans of that. It cost me 99 cents a can, and I had the other stuff here at home. Actually, the corn and black beans and onions is actually leftover. So you know, it's sometimes not more expensive to eat better. We get under the impression that it's more expensive to eat better, but I don't think that's necessarily true. We just have to seek out maybe other options. And, you know, like in my case, it took me a little bit of time to peel the carrots and slice the carrots and assemble the leftovers and heat it up on the stovetop. So I knew I had to make time for that. So I compensated by going ahead and purchasing the already prepared fruit so that I could save a little time there, because my schedule is really full as yours is. So I get it when sometimes it's hard to find the time and we have to prioritize the budget. So hopefully I can make this stick for 21 days. We'll see, but feel free to give me your suggestions. But to wrap it up, while focusing on this is a big lifestyle change for me. Like, for example, this is a Monday. On Tuesdays, there's an occasion where I always have the opportunity for a slice of pizza. And I'm having to navigate that today, like in my brain. How am I going to approach that? Am I going to swear it off entirely? Am I going to say one indulgence one time a week is okay with me in this plan? So I don't know. Jury's still out. I'll have to let you know when we update. But it is hard to make a lifestyle change. So I would say this is like my call to action to myself, and I'm sharing it with you. And if it's useful for you, that's wonderful. And if it's not useful for you, then just disregard it, obviously. I appreciate you watching. Thank you for being part of this journey with me on this kind of lifestyle change and like, how do we tackle these things? So put it in comments if you have some suggestions. How do we tackle these big lifestyle changes that we want to make? We know it's for our good. So if we have an internal voice, you know, reminding us, you know, this is worthwhile in the long run. This is something that's going to help us. It's good for us. Those are all good things. But I think sometimes that's not enough. So for me, one thing that I'm trying to do is like set small daily goals with it. So like today, the goal was just use the chicken broth as a base for some hearty kind of broth or soups that will stick with me. Focus on beverages just being water or tea, and other than that, only eat whole fruits or whole vegetables. You know, when I say whole, I mean like not processed into any other form. Just real fruit, real vegetables, chopped up, raw, I guess. So those were my mini goals for today. In conjunction with, also wanted to walk a mile, and I did get that done. So set mini goals and have those miniature goals working toward the bigger picture, toward the outcome. And so in that note, we like to say here, plan your work and work your plan. And I'm going to try to do that to see myself through this 21-day eat real food lifestyle change. So give me your suggestions. And if you know any great ways to dress up chicken broth, go ahead and put those in the comments too, because I feel like that's going to be a big part of what I'll be doing. And we've been using fresh herbs as well, like the cilantro that we've got growing here. And I also got some thyme and oregano and basil over the weekend. So I'm going to incorporate those things. But feel free to give us your suggestions. Let us know if you're tackling a big lifestyle change. And thanks so much for joining us at Twin Oaks Farm Poultry on YouTube. God bless y'all. Have a marvelous week. And I hope that you're motivated this Monday to work toward the things you want to accomplish this week.